Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce's weekly webinar. As always, these are recorded and posted on Facebook, YouTube, and the Chamber's website. We do invite you to stay till the end, though, because we will have a live Q&A session where you can ask any question that you might have. So today's topic title is Personal Property and Public Access, and we have tips for small businesses from the Property Appraiser's Office. We have Dino Matois, who is the Tax Roll Coordinator, and Steve Weissman, who some of you guys may know, who is the Personal Property Appraisal Department Manager. So I'm going to turn it over to these two gentlemen. They're super knowledgeable, and they're going to share some information with us today. Gentlemen?
All right, Angel, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here as always. I'm sure there are a number of people that are on that I see regularly at chamber events. And let me get my presentation starting. So let me share my screen. Does that look okay, Angel?
Yes, sir. You are good to go.
Good to go. All right. So today we're going to talk about personal property assessment. And again, I'm Steve Weissman. I'm the manager of the Personal Property Appraisal Department. And just for those of you that are not familiar with our office values property, administers exemptions, maintains ownership records for Palm Beach County fairly, equitably, and in accordance with Florida law. We value what you value. We do not set tax rates. That would be the taxing authorities like in Delray Beach, the city council, it would be the county commission, the school board, other things like that. And we do not collect taxes or send out tax bills. That would be the tax collector. So if you have questions on those, you need to call those other departments. So this is from our website. I'm not going to go through this. This is a little bit about the statistics for the 2020 tax roll, which was last year's that we have. And you can look at that. And we have a lot of parcels and a lot of value in Palm Beach County. But one of the things is that this is not the whole picture. It's most of the picture, but not the whole picture. So the question, of course, is what is tangible personal property? Well, according to the Florida Constitution, it's all goods, chattels, and other articles of value capable of manual possession and whose cheap value is intrinsic to the article itself, commonly known as fixtures, furniture, and equipment. So that's what it is. I'll give you some examples if you're confused. It does not include for businesses inventory held for resale, household goods for personal use, or licensed vehicles. You've already paid ad valorem according to value taxes on your car when you register it or on your truck that you're using for work or your van. It does include some things you may not have thought about: signs, certain leasehold improvements. That's things that you built in your business that are not structural, that you added on to make them look nice: decorative lighting, built-in counters, cell sites, believe it or not, and towers, natural gas pipelines, power plants, railroad tracks, and railroad cars. So every time you get stopped by CSX, Tri-Rail, or FEC or Brightline, that is assessed as personal property. And to give you an idea of where it is, it's a lot less than the entire almost 300 billion in value and 650,000 in parcels, real property parcels. We have almost 60,000 tangible accounts with a taxable value of 10.2 billion. And in the city of Delray Beach, there are almost 3,300 accounts for 331 million in taxable value. So how about some comparisons? So here is Delray Medical Center. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. And this is the parcel with the highest taxable value on real property in Delray Beach at $110.4 million. So the question is, what's the highest taxable entity on the tangible side? FPL with 110.1 million taxable, pretty close to that. Now at this point you're going, what? There's no way, that's a big hospital. This is FPL, how? Well, this is what you need to know, what the FPL assessment includes. substations, power poles, above ground and below ground lines, transformers, smart meters. Every power meter on every building is tangible personal property that FPL is paying a tax on. Because you don't own that meter, FPL owns that meter. You're probably being charged for it in your electrical bill, but you can talk to FPL about that. So just to give you an idea countywide of some of the big tangible accounts, this is the West County Energy Center out near Lion Country Safari on Southern, and its 2020 assessment was 1.8 billion, the highest single account parcel of any kind in the county. And some others there, FPL's total assessment. Now remember, we're 10.2, half of that is FPL on the tangible side. Next is Comcast with almost 171, and not far behind is AT&T Florida. That's the old Bell South, for those of you that have been here long enough. And here are the top 10 tangible accounts in Delray Beach. As you can look at, there's FPL. Some of those may surprise you, some may not. But what surprised me was South Florida Proton Therapy Institute. Where in the world is that? Some of you hopefully don't know. They do cancer treatments. There's their real property building. And it is right in front of Delray Medical Center, surprise. And their tangible assessment is 20.8 million as compared to their real property, which is 16.9. So now some of you are saying, are you kidding me? How could they have more equipment? It is very high tech, gamma knives and imaging equipment and all that. It is state of the art, and it is definitely worth more than the building is. So now the question is, you've seen all these values and you're probably saying, how is tangible personal property valued for ad valorem tax purposes? Well, business owners report fixed assets, including description, original cost, year acquired condition, and estimate of current value. So every year, businesses report that. Our office estimates the economic life and then adjusts for inflation and then for depreciation. And our computer-assisted mass appraisal system calculates the assessed value of each asset or asset class. Now, hopefully this will work. Aha. I'll leave that there so I can get rid of it. So this is our website that Dean will show you more of. And if you go to departments, there's our department at the very bottom. It's alphabetical, tangible personal property. And here's the page. And down at the bottom are the tables that they're built into our computer system, but if you want to figure it out for yourself, you can. So remember we talked about the economic lives? So here it is. So if you've got office furniture, we're saying it's CO8. That stands for commercial 8-year. And I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. Next, I said we adjust for inflation. So remember, you're reporting cost new, and if you purchased that desk in 2017, it's commercial, not industrial, not technology-based, we'll multiply it by 1.07 to figure out what it would be worth if you bought it now. Because you may not be able to get the same desk now, or we could check on it even. Lastly, depreciation, because there's wear and tear as you use it. And 2017, an 8-year life, we're going to take 49% for the value, so we're going to depreciate it a little over half, 51%. So if you wonder how we do it, it's not a secret, it's there and on our website. Tangible personal property is subject to the same ad valorem taxes as real property, not the DDA additional. So whatever that tax rate is, you apply it to your tangible assessment, and that's what you get. It's not subject to non-ad valorem taxes like Solid Waste Authority. There is a $25,000 exemption off of the assessed value if you file a tax return with our office, and if the account was below $25,000 previously on the tax roll. that exemption will be automatically renewed. You get a postcard that says it is. But if you want to get the exemption, don't let somebody tell you, oh, you're new, you're under 25, you don't need to file. If you want to get the exemption, you have to file that initial tax return with our office. So filing a return. So how do I file a return? Well, if your accountant has a program that'll do it, you have a local accountant, you give them the information and they produce the return and they give it to you. But if not, you can do it a couple of ways. You want a blank form, you go to our website, Forms, Tangible Personal Property Return, and there it is. You fill it in. You want instructions? There are instructions. This is a state form. We didn't make this up. But you say, well, wait a minute, account number? Gee, I'm not sure what my account number is. Okay, we can take care of that. On this page, you change the search real property to tangible personal property. And you can search by account number. It's a 6-digit number beginning 0, 1, or 2. Location, address, or business name. So I'm going to look for a business. And use the autocomplete. It really likes the autocomplete. And there is the information on the chamber. And right here where it says tangible return, if you click on that, it's producing a form. And there is a return with your account number on it and all the information just for you to fill in that way. It's not a fillable PDF, but you certainly can print it and fill it in. Why do I need to file a return? You're saying, what if I don't file a return? Okay, this is why. Number one, it's the law. We have field staff that go around and canvass some 30,000 businesses in Palm Beach County. We add new ones to the tax roll, and by law, we have to do an estimate of value. So we put it on and we estimate your value based on similar businesses in the area. And every account is required to file annually until the business closes or moves out of county, or a return is received on time and the value is under 25. The next year, you'll get a postcard that says, you're exempt, you don't need to file unless you acquired new assets and you're now over 25. And remember, there is a tax lien on the assets and not on the business. Now, speaking of field staff, this is John Benedict. He's one of our appraisers. His territory is the city of Delray Beach, east of Military Trail, and you might see him wandering around between October and February. And he's trying to see who's there, who's moved in new, who looks like they remodeled, had a lot of closed businesses this year. But there's his information if anybody has a question. He also happens to be the person who does all apartment complexes over 40 units and all hotels and motels in the county. Here's some other reasons you want to file. Non-filers are subject to a 25% penalty and will not get the exemption. So if you have a value of 10,000 and don't file, not only will you end up with a value, but it'll be of 12.5 instead of being completely exempt. So you want to file. If the tax bill is not paid, the tax collector is going to charge you immediately penalties and interest in the first couple of weeks of April because you got to pay by March 31st to be on time. They also have an outside service called Revenue Recovery. Hope no one's talked to them. And Revenue Recovery gets 20%, which is tacked on your bill in April if you haven't paid to collect from you. And they will go to court, get a judge to issue a warrant and seize the things and sell them at auction if you don't pay. It's not like real property where they sell the tax certificate and you have a chance to redeem it. Once they sell it, it's gone. And that 20% penalty is posted sometime after April 1st if the taxes aren't paid. So how about filing the tangible tax return? All right. Somewhere around January 1st, if you've got an account with us or if we've created an account, you're going to get one of these postcards. If you get an orange postcard, it's basically telling you you need to file by April 1st. If you have not filed by April 15th or we haven't received it, you will get a tan postcard. It's below the orange. I don't know what color it is exactly. And that's basically reminding you need to file or you're going to get additional penalties and lose your exemption. If you are exempt from filing because you're under 25, and we know that, you'll get a yellow postcard. Unless you've added assets, you're good. And if you're a nonprofit, educational, or scientific organization, religious, that's exempt, you'll get a purple telling you you're exempt. You don't need to file as long as you still meet that not-for-profit purpose. The other thing you can do once you file an initial paper return that makes a lot of sense is you can e-file. And here's the e-file logon page. I'm not going to log on to anything. Once you have filed your first paper return, we will mail you a letter with your PIN that you can use to file. E-filing does a number of things. It saves you paper. It saves you worrying about whether we got it or not because you'll get an email immediately back, and you have more time to pay without penalty. As long as the system is open, which this year I believe is till July 19th, you can file, you get your exemption, you don't get a penalty. Important dates you should know: January 1st is the assessment date. If you were in business January 1st, even if you closed your doors March 1st, you got a report, you may have to pay taxes. March 31st at 5 o'clock, or the last day of the month, is the last time you can request a 30-day extension on filing your return. It's not the same as the IRS. If you've got an extension you filed on your IRS, it doesn't give you 3 months to file on your tangible. April 1st or the next business day postmark is when the returns are due. May 1st or the next business day postmarked is when, if you've got that 30-day extension, it has to be postmarked by that date. And 15 days later is the most you can get. If there are unusual circumstances, we are authorized to give you up to another 15 days. And of course, e-file, that's the way to go. You can do it at 10 o'clock at night, drinking coffee in your pajamas. So just some things that I'd like to ask you not to do. Make our jobs and your job a lot easier. Please do not change your mailing address without notifying our office. Now, more than just from our office, the tax collector is going to send the tax bill to whatever mailing address we give them. If you've changed your mailing address and haven't told us, you're not going to get your tax bill. Close or move a business without notifying our office. If you close after we've been out in the field, we're not going to know. You'll get an assessment, you'll get a bill. If you move to another location after we've been out there, the appraiser in the new location may pick you up as a new account, and you may end up with 2 accounts and 2 tax bills. Or you may think you were exempt and now they think you're a new business, because here's what happens. We walk in, go to the person behind the counter and say, "Hi, is the manager owner here?" The answer is no. Is this business new or did it move? Well, I don't know. I was hired 2 weeks ago and just started, and we've been open for about a week. Put it down as a new account if we can't get a hold of somebody. Guess what? They don't know that you moved. So yeah, let our office know. Sell your business or assets without notifying us of the new owner. If you want it out of your name, let us know who you sold the assets in the business to. Purchase a business, including the tangible personal property, without checking with our office. Would you buy a piece of real estate without a title search? Same thing here. There's a lien on those assets. If they haven't paid their tax bill, you want to know that before you sign your name and give them a check. Rent a commercial space where the previous tenant has abandoned their personal property without checking with our office. Many times the landlords say, you say, "What about the shelving in here?" "Oh, the last tenant left it. You're welcome to use it." Yeah, but guess what? If there's a tax lien on it, The tax collector is going to come. You then have to prove that it was there when you were there, and they can still come and take it. And if you look at the stuff and go, this is terrible, and call Goodwill to pick it up, you now are responsible for the entire tax bill, even though there were a lot of other things that were on that tax bill. So just don't do it. Tell the landlord, you need to get rid of this stuff or take care of it. Allow a tenant to terminate a lease in exchange for leaving the TPP without checking with our office. Some landlords may think, hey, this restaurant went out of business, that's okay. I can rent this for 25 bucks a square foot more as a fully equipped restaurant. Landlord didn't check that the restaurant hadn't paid tangible taxes in 3 years. Landlords now got it. Tax collector wants their money or they want the stuff. Purchase, rent a commercial building, which includes TPP without checking with our office. You buy a little commercial building or shopping center, there's stuff in it. You don't worry about it, you'll get rid of it. If they're unpaid tangible taxes, you've got a problem. I mean, we're here to help. Call, give us the information, we'll look it up and tell you what it is. We'll give you the account number. You can verify if taxes are paid with the tax collector. And that does it for me. So, Dino, it's all yours.
All righty. Thank you, Steve. That was very informative. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen right now, and I'm going to show you our website. So let me see if you guys see it now. Okay. So our website, one of the most important things is that you bookmark our website. If you're a business, a realtor, homeowner, please bookmark the Property Appraiser's public access. Very informative. In the middle here is the search box. And sometimes in the search box, it can be confusing. Right now, we're searching for real property, and the criteria is search by owner last name, address, or PCN. So, for instance, say I want to search Office Depot, and I'm looking for the tangible account. A lot of times, people that use it, they don't switch the role from real property to tangible. So if I don't switch it and I go and I do Office Depot, what I'll get is the real property Office Depot and down in probably Glades Road or Boca area. But that's the corporate office. But you're not interested in that. Say you're interested in finding Office Depots for all intangible accounts. So if we go back home, what we want to do is to switch it and go to the tangible, and then do Office Depot here. And you'll get all the tangible accounts associated with Office Depot. All right, and then you can click on any of them. Here is one on Federal Highway. So if I search that one, it will take me to the tangible account. So I want to know where the location is, for instance, in relation to the real property. What you can do is there's a little real property detail button right here. You can click that, and it will take you to the real property section, and the map will come up, and it's on South Federal Highway, and you can see the picture there. So that will show you where the location is on the real property. If you want to go back to tangible, you just scroll down and hit the tangible account. Also, some of the hot buttons on the pop-up is the real property detail, the owner information, sales information. All these are hot buttons. So if I'm only interested in taxes, for instance, I can just hit the taxes and it will take me directly down to the tax information. So if I want to go back up, You just in the bottom corner over here, you'll see this arrow. Just hit that arrow and it'll take you back up to the top of the screen. I'll go back home and I'll go to the tangible account and say I have only a property that I have an address for, and I don't even have the street number. I just have a street. So I know it's off of Federal Highway. So I type Federal Highway, right? Federal. So what happens here is I get Federal Express. That's no good. So what you got to do now, if you want to find the streets and you want to find a location, the best search to do there is to do a more search option function. Go to more search option. Then you can scroll down to the tangible section or the real section, whatever you want. And you can type in here, Federal Highway here, Federal, and then we do Highway. And then we're only interested in properties on Federal Highway and Boca Raton, for instance. So we click Boca Raton, and then we do a search. And that lists every parcel on tangible that's on the Federal Highway in Boca Raton. So that's a really good, powerful search to use if you don't know the street number and you're looking for the street name. You only know the name. So you want to remember that, and you can also do that for the real property side as well. You can go to the real property side, say that you're interested in a place off of say US Highway 1, and you know the person's last name starts with an M, and it is in Boca Raton. So you search it. Oh, nothing. There's nothing like that. So we're going to go back. We're going to do last name T, and we're going to do it in Federal Highway. And we'll see if anybody with the T is in Boca Raton, down there in Boca. There we go. So if you know the last name only and you want to boil it down a little bit, you can find it that way. So we'll go back home. Now, as Steve said, with the one of the dues is to let us know about the address changes. So there's two ways that you can do address changes. So here's one way is under quick links. You can click mail address form, and you can print this out, fill it out. So this form is for multiple parcels that you want to change the address on, or you can do it by going to the tangible account. We'll go back to tangible, and we'll do Office Depot right here, and we'll search it. Or you can do change an address here, and then, but it's going to have a lot of prompts that it's going to prompt you yes or no, and it may allow you to change the address, or it may prompt you to call Steve's department and get in contact with him about changing your address. But those are two ways that you can change your address on our screen. Say, for instance, I'll go back home. Say that you're driving down the road and you see a shopping center that you want to know what businesses are in that shopping center, but you know the cross streets of that shopping center. So I'm going to go down into the Boynton Beach area over here, and I'm going to find off of Old Boynton Beach Road over here somewhere. Let me see, right over here. Let me see, where in the heck is the mall? I want to find a mall area right here. So here's this. So I got this piece of property. So I'm going to click on this property here. So I'm going to get the, hang on. I'm going to get the view the property record card. So this is the real property record card for this property owner. So now I need to know what businesses are in this shopping center. So what you can do is to scroll down and go into the tangible accounts. Click there, and these are all the owners in that shopping center, or all the businesses within that shopping center. So that'll help you. You can't remember. I used this one time for the Wellington Mall. I couldn't remember the a shop in the Wellington Mall, and I was able to find it using the search like that. So right now on the search engine, you'll see right here where it says full property detail. It's in green. That's because all of these fields, property detail, owner information, sales information, all these fields here are showing. If I'm in the business, I'm a contractor, and say I do permits all day, and I'm a pool, I install screens, for instance. Maybe you want to go, you're not interested in anything else, so you might want to go to My Papa and say, I want the property detail, I want owner information, and maybe the taxes. And so you apply it, and then you close it. So right now you see filtered. So those are the only things that are showing now. Property detail, you're showing taxes, and owner information. So if you turn the computer off and you come back to your desk, it will still be filtered. Even though you went, this classic Papa is the unfiltered version of it. So if I go back to search and I type in, say, Adams, and I just click anybody here and hit search, it's still filtered. You see what I'm saying? So in order to get rid of this filter, you got to go back into My Papa and hit clear and apply and then close. And now you'll be in business again. So for those people who are only interested in the property control number, address, and you can go to My Papa and use that. Also, sometimes like, oh, I'm interested in this neighborhood, for instance. I can for single family homes, this nearby sale search is like, works pretty good. So what happens is, if you got to have a address at the very least to find the radius of the sales within your subject property. So right now there's a color coded. So there's 1, 2, 3 houses over 500 or 500,000 or greater, couple that are within 300 to 500. And I can click on the dot, and it tell me how much it is and the date and etc. Or I can also say, oh, I'm only interested in, I want 4 bedrooms in this neighborhood. So what you do is you unhide this and you go down and you say minimum bedrooms, I'd say 4, and the maximum minimum bathrooms is, say, 2. So 3 2s I'm looking for. So we'll search and see if there's any 3 2s. There's 3 2s. So now say if I want to see a 4 3, there's no 4 bedroom, 3 baths in that neighborhood. So there's various ways where you can also not see, this thing is hidden. So if you unhide it, we reset it, and we hide it, you must put an address in all the time to start this. To get out of it, you just want to click on it, and you just close that window and go back home. Also, the other informations are the other good search tool is advanced sales search. You can do the same thing with the subdivision, any subdivision that you have. You can do a custom date range from to, you can do a sales range, you can do a square footage range. You can do various use codes, property use codes, single family vacant right here, 0100s. Or you can do searches with all sales that includes no money or $0 under deed sales, or you can just get qualified sales and do a search on that. So, and then also, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the countywide map search. Again, say I go here and I'm interested in, say, somewhere down here in Woolbright, say this area right here. So I want to send some letters to these people here. So what you can do is you can go to the little tool wrench and select parcels on a map, and you can highlight here. And then you can say mailing address. And hopefully I'll get it right here, my report. So here's the mailing addresses for those parcels. So you can merge that to an Excel spreadsheet if you want. So that's that, you just clear it. Sometimes it's not as simple as that, it's weird. So you just highlight the whole thing, or you can contact our office and you can go through the data requests, and you can do data requests by clicking here and requesting certain like a variance or mailing labels through the data request too. But if it's simple, you can download your addresses pretty easy. If you have any comments, if the website's good, bad, or indifferent, you can go to the question and comments, and then you can leave a comment here. You can put the topic and then submit it, and we have somebody that monitors our feedback. If you need to know how to manipulate the website even further, you can go to the Learn More. You can click on Navigate pop-up, and there's like some tutorials here that you can go through. You can view the nearby sales search, structural detail changes, e-address for the address changes form, and various other things that you can use at the property appraiser's office. And then for realtors and stuff like that, you may want to look at the tax roll information stuff. Here's the, you can find the millages from last year for everyone. You can find what the values were from last year to this year, what the values increase. You can also find a comparison from last year to this year. From these, this is a DOR form for every taxing district in the county. It tells you the millage rates for 2019, the final, what the taxes levied. This would be the March number, because we don't. Some people have paid early. They just use March as a guide, and this is the rollback rate. So this tells you this is the rate at which, if they keep the same budget, how much money is they're going to receive to keep the same dollar amounts coming in. And then this is the amount levied. So you can do that. And then if your attorneys and your people that are interested in suits and stuff like that, and or tax roll information, or then we have our proof of publications here as far as when we certified the tax roll October 9th. We certified the final 2020 tax roll on April 3rd. And we have a history back to 2012. So when all else fails, go home. So that's all I have. Oh, also one other thing, if you hit the end button, you're going to go down to government links. This is kind of cool. Sometimes you're interested in, oh, I don't know what town's website is. You can go to the ad valorem list, click that, and you can click any town, say, we have special districts here, also like the Delray Beach DDA. You can fire them up. Here's their website, or you can do anybody. So that's quick links for all the taxing authorities and special districts in Palm Beach County. And you can do that as far with the non-ad valorem districts too, water control districts, stuff like that, community development districts, and that's about it. I think this is a homestead, all the departments, and some other forms. That's all I have. So if there's any questions for both of us, or
Wonderful. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Yes, as Dino mentioned, if there are any questions, please feel free to go ahead and type them down below. We also have Facebook Live going, and we are checking the comments down here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them. I gotta say, I love the please do not list. I thought that was great. It was very to the point, and it was nice of you guys to share that. And I also loved all of the colorful notices that get sent out and that they each have their own special meaning attached to them. I thought that was pretty funny. So bear with me a little bit and try not to laugh at my first couple of questions because they might sound a little basic to you guys. But in regards to filing a return, I noticed when you were on the website, there was a portion that said, call us or walk with us. I'm assuming walk through this with us. Does that mean that there's somebody available to help me with that form? I know it was pretty straightforward, but as we all know, sometimes forms can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes, there is somebody here in the department, and just dial the main department number 561-355-2896. It gets assigned randomly to people, and somebody is available 7:30 to 5 on, not on holidays, of course, and somebody will be happy to answer questions.
Oh, that sounds great. And then so again, in regards to the form, I see that you guys had the online version. Of course, we're pushing that. And, you know, there is the mail-in version. You can print it out at home. But can I walk into the office to pick up a hard copy, or no, that's kind of on restriction right now due to COVID?
You can come into the office, but I'm not sure what you'd here. If you came to downtown, you'd have to go to public services on the first floor and ask someone to print one off for you.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you can, guys, make sure you go ahead and use the computer route before having to go out for that. So let's just reiterate. Steve, can you give me the definition of what might be considered tangible property?
It is basically what we're concerned with is that we're not assessing the same things that the real property folks on the commercial side are. And so it's going to be anything movable. Things that you may attach, but that you could remove and it wouldn't hurt the structure and probably wouldn't hurt the item. I know sometimes people are confused and they say, well, I've got a backup generator because we're in hurricane country, and I want to make sure that I have power for my customers, let's say a gas station. And so I've got it bolted down to a slab and I've got it hardwired in. It's still tangible personal property because you could remove it and use it someplace else. Further, anything involved with the installation, so that funny little slab that you had them put it on, whether they poured it or brought something in, is also part of the installation, is tangible also.
All right, got it. So would outstanding taxes impact the buying and selling of office equipment?
If you're buying it from a business, it's sure, and not from a reseller. A retail business, I wouldn't worry about. But if you saw a business, as we saw a lot last year, even in some of the malls, where they said going out of business and they were selling their fixtures, I would certainly want to know if there was a lien on that or not, because the tax collector, in wanting to collect, should go after the business owner. But the problem is, if the business owner doesn't have it and you bought like most of their stuff, they could very well give them your contact information.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I'm actually guilty of having bought a fixture or two from one of those places, but I did not know that that was something that could happen. Very fascinating.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You're always full of little information tidbits that I love to hear. Okay, so wonderful. Well, Dino, I have a question for you. I saw that you were able to generate a mailing list. So does that mean that other reports can be generated from the information on the website?
You can probably do a sales list
Sales list.
and the mailing list. That's probably the extent of it. You can't query single family homes that with pools and
Okay.
or special requirements. You would have to go through our public information
To receive.
or our office to get that query done.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And so I know you went through a ton on the website. It looks like we could have honestly spent all day there because there were just so many tabs. But are there any special features of the mobile website that you would like to highlight?
Yes, on the mobile website, it's a very if you guys don't know it, it's www.pbcgov.org /Papa Mobile. And when you click the Papa Mobile and you're driving around town and you're interested in a piece of property and you don't have a pen and pencil or you don't have anything handy, there's a button there. It says locate me. Click that and it will locate you and pull up that property that you're in that area, the map, and then you just click on the map and the property record card to come up.
Wonderful. Well,
So that's really a cool tool as well.
yeah, absolutely. Everybody loves their phone, and if they
Yeah.
can do their work from there, that's always a plus. So awesome. Well, it looks like we don't have any questions on Facebook. So if our viewers do come up with some questions after this, after they've got a chance to review and maybe they share this with someone, would they contact any of you gentlemen directly for information, or would they just call the office to be directed to the right line?
If it's untangible, they should contact the department. And the general email box, so that they don't have to wait for me if I'm not around, is myTPP, that's MYTPP, Tom Peter Peter, at pbcgov.org.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I don't want to throw you under the bus, Steve, but I feel like you are the quickest responder to everything. But yes, guys, make sure that you contact the lines that he's given you in order to get the fastest response possible. All right. Is there anything else that you guys would like to leave off of on this presentation? No? Good to go. Well, thank you for joining us. I know you guys are going to be present at Real Estate Roundtable taking place on June 10th via Zoom. So you guys can join us then as well. And thank you again. This webinar has been recorded. It is on Facebook. It will be on YouTube and the Chamber's website. So feel free to share and like as you please. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.